Welcome, Trip Trappers. I just circled the big goober in the middle of this Lazy Susan I made so you can see it up close and personal. I've decided to re-pour right over the top of this Lazy Susan. I let it dry for a couple weeks. I don't know if you remember, but I told everyone, now I'm going to set this aside and I'm not going to touch it because I have a habit of trying to fix it a little more and a little more. And of course, after I told you that, I set it aside. I came back an hour later and it didn't look right. So I touched it and that didn't work. I tried to get a little piece of something out of it, a little piece of dried paint, and it went from there. Then I tried to fix it and add to it, and I made it worse. So we're just covering over it here. So I've got you on faster speed here as I do this. But here I am, I'm going to redo this Lazy Susan. And I think this is interactive blue black I'm starting with. I've got this on higher speed, so it'll go a little quicker here. I don't work that fast, but you can see I've got my colors going down. I think that's cobalt blue, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the colors, but I'm putting my colors down here. And I decided rather than from blooming from the middle out, I thought, well, why don't I try making 3 separate blooms and working from there. So that's what I've got going on here. I know I tell you and everything, it's just paint, you can start over. And here I am showing you that, yes, you can just start over. It's not so difficult. So I've got my paint going down. I'm using a Glidden pillow paint. I think it's N6011 that I'm using. And I put that down, and that's kind of the idea is that the white on the bottom is going to hold the colors up. Now there's this little piggy right there that I'm kind of scattering around. I found that it makes it look really cool when it sits on top of the white like that. And when you bloom out, even if the colors don't cover, that's actually what I want, is for them not to cover over those little splatters that I'm making here. And here goes some more. So we've got our colors down. And here I'm putting the cell activator on top. Now this is made with white, titanium white Amsterdam paint. And then I've added Australian Floetrol to that. I've tried every which way under the sun, not paying for the expensive Floetrol, and it never does very well. So I did finally break down and buy the Australian Floetrol, and it works like a charm. So I'm using a hairdryer there, and I'm trying to blow that little cell activator out over the top of the other colors. And that's going to make these what appear to be cells on top. Because the white pillow paint is heavier than the other paint, or not the white pillow paint. The Amsterdam cell activator is heavier, so it's going to try to fall down on top of the other paints, and that's what's going to make those cells appear. All right, so I've got that part done here. I got my 3 blooms made. I got everything, all my colors on. And here we go. I'm going to start getting ready to spin it here because I want to spin those colors out. One of the things I'm doing here is you can't really see it very well, but I'm popping some bubbles, and then I'm using the hair dryer on cool setting, and I'm holding it up above because I'm trying to get the air to blow down and drive down into that white paint. That's going to help those cells form bigger. I like to make the bigger cells by doing this. So once I've done it all, I'll actually come back to it and hold it up over the top like that and try to, do a little more. Sometimes I'll blow a little more out. Got to pop a few more bubbles. And here I'm going to embellish it because I want the bloom to look a little prettier than it does. It just looks kind of goofy to me. So I'm just working it here. In between, I'm trying to bring the white into it so I get some definition. And I've done this enough where I can just kind of fly through it, but just know I'm on fast speed here. I don't actually work that fast, but I'm going through it, adjusting it, trying to give it a little bit of embellishment there. And then now I'm spinning the paint so that I want all the extra paint to spin off it. If I just let it dry the way it was, first of all, it's not pretty enough yet. But if I let it dry the way it is, then the paint is going to be too thick and it's going to crack and possibly warp my Lazy Susan. I don't know if I explained this in the beginning or not, but before I even start one of these, I buy them and then I put 2 coats of polyacrylic on them because I've had them warp before. And then I also have a dehumidifier in the room to help keep them from warping. But here you can see I'm doing a little more embellishing. I want to make sure it's so beautiful, and I want to bring the colors down so I don't have as much empty white space. You can see there's still quite a bit of paint there. All right, we're spin again here. If you're just starting this, just know that it's a really wonderful hobby. It makes the most incredible items, and I call it functional art because you can use this in your kitchen, out on your kitchen table or up on your counter. It's incredibly beautiful, but you could also serve charcuterie on it. You could do all kinds of things. When we're done with this, I'm going to resin it, and then I'm going to show you the reveal. So actually later in this video, you're going to get to see the final product, what it looks like after I've applied the resin to it. So gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm spitting more paint off. That seems to be what takes the most, popping a few more bubbles, keep embellishing it. And that's what you want to do. You want to make it as beautiful as possible. When I resin it, what I'll do is mix up a batch of resin and I'll cover the top and sides, and then that will need to sit for another at least 2 weeks. So this will sit for 2 weeks, and then the resin will sit for at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer before I sell it. Now I have people, these are very easy for me to sell. Family and friends want them, neighbors want them. You can't imagine the hours of study I've done in order to be able to do this. I love Louise McKay art, and she's one that I routinely watched to learn how to do this. And more spinning, you got to get more of this extra paint off. All right, it's looking pretty beautiful here. All right, so we're going to stop our video here in a second, and then I'm going to tack on to the end of this video with the resin final product. So you're going to get to see the big reveal. So here we go. We're going to stop right here. Good morning, drip droppers. This morning we're going to do the reveal of a Lazy Susan that I made a few weeks ago. I'm going to just do a little bit of sanding on it and show you what it looks like. We're going to look at it together. So here we go. All right. Oh my gosh. Look how beautiful this came out. Isn't that unbelievable? I'm going to tip it up here so you can see it better. And I'll kind of bring it up near the camera here so you can get a better look at it. There are colors in it called interference colors. And I get these from a company called This Little Piggy. And when you put them in, you can really see it in the middle there too. You can see how those colors shift. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. Wow, and I'm going to show you. It spins beautifully. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have it ready for my craft show I'm doing this weekend. This is what I do is I usually have quite a few of them at the craft show to feature. Wow, look at that. If it's something you're interested in, of course, just reach out to me by making a comment or something. But oh, this is just beautiful. I'm just in love with this one. I feel like this could be my favorite of all I've made so far, but I'm not sure. Just gorgeous. Thanks for joining me today as we reveal this. I'm so excited. Probably my best ever. A project a day keeps the doctor away. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out right, you know what you can do? Scrape it off and start again. We'll see you later. See you with our next project. Be strong, be courageous, try something new. What's the worst that can happen? See ya. Bye.